Okay, I got 3 o'clock. Is everybody ready?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, I will call this meeting to order. We'll do Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, Vice President Duncan, you want to start us?
Absolutely. If you'd repeat with me, I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of
the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to do the invocation today, you guys, so you do what you want. Okay, we ask the Heavenly Father, in thy infinite wisdom, to guide the members of this board in such a way that all their thoughts, endeavors, and decisions will be made for the betterment of the entire community. We also beseech thee to protect our country and our people from all conflicts, both foreign and domestic. Roll call, please.
Director Sewell? Just a moment. Let me unmute your mics, please.
Here.
Thank you. Director Martin?
Here.
Director Gracia?
Here.
Vice President Duncan?
Here.
President Wright?
Here.
Thank you. We have quorum.
Thank you. Mr. Pinckney, would you please remind us about our rules of procedure for our board meetings?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can?
We can
Yes.
hear you.
Okay, great. Okay, so the Board of Directors adopted a director's handbook, which includes rules of procedure for conducting its meetings. And so I'll just go over some of the provisions in the rules of procedure. I won't obviously read the whole thing, but just as a reminder for purposes of today's meeting, in Section 10, it provides that all notice meetings are conducted using Rosenberg's Rules of Order as a procedural guideline. Directors should refrain from responding directly to public comments at meetings of the board. The president of the board presides at all meetings and decides all points of order and procedure during meetings. The president is responsible for maintenance of order and decorum at all board meetings. No person should be allowed to speak who has not first been recognized by the president. All questions and remarks should be addressed to the president as the presiding officer. No member of the board should speak more than once upon any one subject until every other member of the board wishing to speak on the subject shall have been given the opportunity to speak. No board member shall interfere with the orderly progress of a board meeting. In order to ensure the orderly progress of board meetings, the board president regulates the amount of time to be dedicated to a particular agenda item.
Thank you.
I report on that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, item number 4, employee recognition. We have 3. We have Bassam has 2 years, field operations manager. We have a 10-year pen, Matt, wherever you are. If you're there, I can't.
Yes, Matt's gone today.
Oh, okay. Well, congratulations, Matt, 10 years. And Danny, 23 years. Is Danny here today or not?
No, Danny, they're both enjoying the season of hunting.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Okay. Okay, well, so we'll move on to item number 5, public input. Dory, do we have any members of the public that would like to speak?
Madam President, I have 2 members of the public on the line, neither of which wish to make public comment.
Okay, then having none, I will move on to item number 6. I think what we decided was Mission Springs Regional Water Reclamation Facility. Is that correct?
Yes.
Was that correct, Ivan? Is that the one I know Ivan will remember.
Yes. Am I not?
Okay. Well, I'll entertain a motion to adopt that one as our official regional wastewater treatment plant.
President Wright, you did take a motion and a second and vote on it at the study session on Thursday.
Yes.
So unless you'd like to do that again.
Well, I thought we started and John said we couldn't. I thought somebody mentioned it was a study session. We didn't vote. We did vote on it? Oh, okay. You sure? I thought we just were started to, but didn't finish it.
No, we did complete that vote.
Oh, okay, good. Then we'll go on to number 7.
Well, no, we have a report. I reported.
Right,
that.
Steve's. Okay.
Yes.
Steve.
Okay, today with us, we have Steve Ledbetter here, who's going to make a presentation, verbal, on a lot of the progress that we've made with the construction of the regional water reclamation facility. And, but I want to reiterate, to introduce this, is that we, everything is pretty much in place. We are really tight, and we cannot hesitate much on getting this plant together. And like I showed you last time, because of the flows we're seeing at our Horton plant, we need to get this plant built as quickly as possible. And I think you'll see from Steve's presentation that we're moving along rather rapidly, and we've accomplished most everything we've needed to accomplish to date. We're waiting. We have a couple critical points that we're waiting for that'll take us through the end of the year. But with that said, Steve, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you for that introduction, Arden. Good afternoon, President Wright and directors. I just wanted to give a quick update for the month of September. We've received the 100% plans on the treatment plant from the consultant AECom. Staff and I are both going through the plan set and plan checking it, make sure we don't have any last comments on it. We do expect to have that. Comments are actually due tomorrow. So we'll be wrapping that up, and then we have a workshop set up with staff next week to review any final comments and make sure we're all on the same page, there's no outliers. And from that point, the plans go back to AECom, and they'll prepare the final, what they call the issue for bid set. And once we have that issue for bid set, we'd be ready to, put that out to bid to the public for contractors to bid on the project. Starting this month, I've coordinated at the direction of staff to reach out to AECom and evaluate a pre-qualification process for bidding. And if we start a pre-qualification process, we can put that on a parallel path now, and then we can have a short list of qualified contractors that would be able to bid on the project. And what that does is it streamlines the process a little bit and will save us a little bit of time in the long run to be able to go through this pre-qualification process. Typically, we would work with AECom. We, the district, would work with AECom to prepare a pre-qualification package, kind of a list of questions, a long-form questionnaire, ask them about their financials, their history, their references, projects of similar nature. So we kind of go through a lot of the preliminary steps that are usually required during bidding. And then that way, once it actually goes out to bid to these pre-qualified contractors, then it's more or less based on cost. So that's something that we're entertaining, and we're going to see where that actually pencils out, what it means cost-wise and what it means schedule-wise, to make sure that it will, in fact, provide a benefit to the district. As I've noted, I don't know if the monthly general manager's report is in your packet, but we're working on the parcel map for the treatment plant sites. That was made up of roughly 25 to 30 different 2.5 acre parcels, and we've broken that up into 3 main parcels, one for the solar project, one for well 33, and then one for the main treatment plant site. We had to go out and complete some additional surveys, which were done last month in September, and now we're drafting the parcel map. We expect to have that done at the end of the month, and then it'll go to the City of Desert Hot Springs Planning Commission for consideration and adoption. Last month, we met with the regional board. We made a presentation to the board of directors at the Regional Water Quality Control Board regarding the waste discharge requirement permit for the treatment plant. After much debate and negotiation, we settled on an effluent TDS limit that we believe is achievable for the proposed treatment plant and will actually help us in the long run. We had some initial concerns, if you recall, with where the TDS limit, the total dissolved salt limit or salt limit, would be set. And we feel that we're able to negotiate that to a higher level that would, is going to help us get down the road with the treatment plant. In addition, the regional board staff was sympathetic to some of the issues we're dealing with, and that we're not necessarily the cause or the driver of the increased salts. That's a little bit out of our control, meaning it's primarily coming from the recharge of Colorado River water, untreated Colorado River water. So they were willing to work with us going forward if the TDS limit becomes a concern. So I think that was very beneficial for the project to continue moving forward. One of the requirements in the WDR is that we complete a monitoring well work plan, and that identifies the 3 required monitoring wells for the treatment plant where they would be placed. The regional board requires that we put in a monitoring well upstream of the treatment plant and 2 downstream. The monitoring well upstream will give us a sample of the groundwater quality coming into and underneath the treatment plant. And then the 2 downstream will give us a sample of what the groundwater quality is now that it's been mixed with the effluent from our plant after it's disposed of and recharged back into the ground. We will be required to sample those on a quarterly basis in some instances and a monthly basis in other instances. So we've put a draft work plan together. We're finalizing that now. It'll go to the regional board for approval, and then the district can move forward with constructing the 3 monitoring wells required for the treatment plant project. I don't have a good update for you on the SRF funding application with the state. The last we spoke was in September, and they were finalizing the confirmation that the district's DAC status and the service area for the treatment plant, that we meet all the requirements. I have left a couple voicemails this month. I haven't heard back, but we are expecting the draft funding agreement this month. I know we're about at the midway point of the month, so we're still hopeful that we get that draft funding agreement to continue moving forward on the SRF application. And then one other item is the conveyance line. So the big trunk sewer that's going to bring the flows to the plant. We've been working through the easement process on that. We're now reaching out to the property owners. We had sent out, easement request letters to the property owners. It's been about 4 weeks since we sent those out. We haven't heard back from the property owner yet. So we'll be sending out a subsequent letter, then also working with Mission Springs Billing Department to see if we have any contact information on file so we can reach out by phone and see if we can't make contact with the property owner. There's another easement or in the same area. We're looking at both sides of the street or both corners that we're trying to get the pipeline across. We're working with the Conservation Commission. The gentleman we were working with before, Jim Sullivan, he retired in August. So we lost a little bit of that continuity, but I'm working now again with Katie Barrows and Kathleen Brundage to move that easement process forward. The district has prescriptive rights for the water line, but that doesn't necessarily cover the sewer line that would be within the prescriptive easement area. So that's something we need to work through with the Conservation Commission, formalize that as a utility easement, and then that would allow the sewer line to go through that area as well. And that's all I have for the last month on the treatment plant. Arden, anything else you'd like me to touch on that I may have missed?
You're muted, Arden.
You're muted, Arden. Hold on. There,
Oh,
there you go.
Got it.
You go.
all right. No, I think that you did a great job. Thank you, Steve. We did get a commitment from the State Water Resources Control Board that they would get us an answer in October, which was actually more exciting than we thought, because we didn't think that they were going to be able to respond in time. But I think we have such a complete package there that they were able to commit to getting that back to us. So we'll see how that goes. We'll keep contacting them. I also want to say that compliment Steve and the staff for doing a very good job at the Regional Water Quality Control Board meeting. We had to fight hard to get those interim limitations in place. We were successful. And that gives us the opportunity to build this plant. The reason I'm bringing that up is though I want to bring the message to you that sooner or later we're going to have to deal with the salt and nutrients in this valley, but we want to do it as a valley-wide effort. And we're working with CVWD and DWA, and I think that's going well. But we will have to address that issue at this plant at some point in the future. A long way away, but I wanted to get that message out there early. And that's it. That's all I have to add to what Steve says. Thank you, Steve.
Okay. President Wright or any other directors, any questions I can answer today?
Vice President Duncan, do you have any questions? Director Sewell?
No questions, just happy to hear that we were able to work with them with the TDS requirements. And I think that pre-qualification idea could save us a lot of time and effort as far as going out to bid. So thank you for all you're doing.
Director Grasha? Director Grasha, do you have a comment?
Yeah, question.
Or question, I'm sorry.
How many gallons a day are you expecting on opening day when this plant's completed?
Around 250 to 300,000 gallons.
Okay, I thought I read that. But I also thought I heard you say 600 at once. So I wanted to be clear about that. And does anybody know offhand the acreage size of the solar farm, so I can kind of judge when I go by there? And I've yet to go there to look at this. I'm trying to get an idea of what 90 acres looks like.
I would say we're on about 5 acres usable, but we've used the upper, 14 acres designated as kind of a solar parcel.
Oh, okay, but you've only used 5?
Yeah, roughly 5.
Okay, thanks. That's it. Thank you. Very good report.
Thank you.
Director Martin?
No, nothing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. There is that fund, I think I mentioned it, the Safe and Affordable Drinking Water Fund. It's a fairly new fund that the governor has $130 million per year in. The East Valley, they got quite a bit of money out of there for hooking to sewer. It's for safe and affordable drinking water funds, mostly for disadvantaged communities. So there's that. I think the money comes from the cap and trade program. So it might be worth checking in to see if there's anything that we would qualify for. Okay,
yeah, we've looked into that program a little bit, and I don't know if there's going to be a funding for this project. What it looks like is the state's already went in and evaluated small drinking water systems, determined what type of wellhead treatment or what type of constituent of concern that they're dealing with, and identified a preliminary treatment method to achieve that, and dedicated or already set up a budget for some of these small water systems. But we'll continue to evaluate that, see if we can come up and if there are any options available for Mission Springs.
Okay, great. I know it'll probably go on for years too, and maybe for when we get people hooked up and stuff, maybe that part. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Steve. Good presentation. So it was just an update. So we'll go on to number 6. The consent agenda. Any board members like to today pull anything off there for discussion?
This number 6 or 7?
Well, I'm number 7 on my agenda.
Yeah, you said number 6. So I thought,
I'm sorry, 7, consent agenda.
all right. While you're considering that, I thought what I would do is share with you, there was a question about the credit card payments, and Matt researched that. He isn't here today. We talked about it, and then he reported to me that we had CalCard payments that were made to the U.S. Bank. That was the previous card carrier. The last payment was made to the U.S. Bank already, so that's not in this reimbursables. We haven't made any payments to Wells Fargo yet regarding our credit cards, but they will show up at next month's report as Wells Fargo Wells 1, vendor number 3618. So that will give you an idea that that's why we didn't have anything show up there this month. Okay? Because we switched.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Vice President Duncan, do you like to pull anything?
No, thank you.
Okay, Director Sewell?
No,
Director
thank you.
Martin? Director Martin? Okay, Director Gracia? You just did. Okay, you just did pull some, or you just asked. Or no, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Did you want to?
Did we move on from item 6?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
I already asked the question.
All right.
After her.
All right.
So,
Well, all right.
we can, anyway, consent agenda. Want to pull anything today?
No.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So move.
And Randy, is that a second? Okay, I have a motion. I didn't see who made it, but I saw that Vice President Duncan. Director Martin made the motion, Vice President Duncan seconded. All in, vote, roll call vote, please, Dory.
Director Sewell,
Yes.
Director Martin,
Yes.
Director Gracia,
Yes.
Vice President Duncan,
Yes.
President Wright.
Yes,
Thank you. Motion passes.
thank you. Next one's number 8, Public Affairs Report. We just,
Yeah, I think we had most of that on Thursday. I don't know if Victoria has anything to add. I want to I also want to compliment Victoria, and John shared his compliment with me today. We really do have a nice looking Facebook. I had a chance to go back and take a look at that briefly, but I'm going to go back and take a look again. But I want to compliment Victoria for that. Victoria, did you have anything additional that you wanted to share with us?
Not so far as public outreach. However, I just wanted to remind the board that property tax bills will start coming out, and some have already come out. So if you guys get any questions perhaps about some of the items that are on there, for example, you'll have the sewer service fee that's on there. Any customers who are part of an assessment district, that they might see Mission Springs associated with that. There's also the desert water fee for the fixed cost for the state water contract. So just a reminder that as those are starting to come out, you might see more questions. You may get questions. We've had, I believe, 1 or 2 so far on social media. So that is all.
oh, great. Okay, thank you, Victoria. Oh, Arden, did you have anything else on it?
Oh, excuse me. Nothing.
Okay, number 9, monthly reports. Who do we have here? Let's see.
No, I made comments before, and again, this is another time I take the opportunity to share with you the flows at the Horton plant. We're doing okay. We're right on schedule, but you know, we need to be sure that we keep this plant moving.
Yeah, what are we at this month? It was pretty good size, I think.
It was down a little bit. We got 2.12 for a peak, but the average is pretty close to the peak. So we're not seeing a bunch of fluctuations, which means people must be just constantly at their homes. So
Yeah, it hasn't changed too much. Okay, I suppose I should ask, is that President Duncan, any comments on those questions, comments on the monthly reports?
No, thank you.
Director Martin? Director Sewell?
No, thank you.
Director Gracia?
You know, I got some meetings that I attended here that I didn't put in for.
That comes in a second. This is monthly report.
Oh.
You know, the water, the wastewater treatment plant and the.
Oh, yeah, we just covered.
I think you're talking
about.
about.
You know, I brought this up at least twice now on that, and that is, I'd like to have a thorough overview of the economics of this plant before it's brought to us.
This is monthly reports.
Yeah, and you just said that things like the treatment plant. So
Well, yeah, yes, yes, it has how the flows. Yes, it's
yeah,
part.
so
The
this
flows
is
are
a
part.
thing like the treatment plant. Okay.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
again in month.
Be a good idea sometime. Okay, thank you. Now number 10 is directors' reports for the meetings that they've attended. I think we did some of them on Thursday. That was Russ and Randy, you did yours too on Thursday, right?
Yes, yes, I did.
That's all we have is you guys. Okay, so correspondence, which is in our packet. District council comments.
I have nothing to report today.
General manager's report.
No, I think you're going to see in there that we have added much of the water resources stuff to the report, which I think is interesting. We try to get the information that you asked for included in the next report. So I don't have anything additional. No, other than I have well, I may have to take off a short period of time, a day or two here and there, to take care of some health issues with my family, not ours personally, but not a big deal, but we're trying to help Tina's sister out. So I don't think it should be a big problem, but in case I do, I'll let you all know. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Director's comments. Vice President Duncan.
Yeah, Steve Ledbetter still, yep, still here. Okay. Good presentation, Steve. I meant to say something earlier and I kind of glossed right over it. It was good to see 100% complete. I know when you gave us the 30%, I was asking for 60. When you gave 60, I was asking for 90. And always one step ahead. I'm glad we finally got 100%. I like the pre-bid, pre-approval idea. I know it's not binding and it's got to be final, but at least that gives people an idea of what we're looking at. They can start putting their basic info together and get this ball rolling. I know we need to get this done as soon as we can. So good job. Thank you for all you've done over the last probably 3-4 years on this thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, and that's just Steve. Yeah, the rest of been going a lot longer than. Okay.
Yeah. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Director Martin.
I have nothing.
Director Grasha.
I'm muted. There we go.
No, you're not. Okay.
Yeah, we've been in a hurry to get the plant moving, that's for sure. And talk has been picking up. We've also had reports of a steep decline in revenue. 12% to me is steep. I don't know if it is to you. And I don't know what things are going to look like. You know, we've got to know where we're at on this. I need to be more comfortable. I want to vote for this. I want to be 100% all in, but without a better understanding of things, I don't want to get too far ahead of the community's ability to pay. We've done that already. We've proven that we've not been as responsible in that regard as we could be or should have been. And I don't want to get too far out on this until we're able to have a better understanding of our economic forecast in our community, which I understand right now is not as healthy as we'd like to believe it is. I understand there's some issues going on in the district among personnel, and I also would like to be able to keep away from that and not get involved, but I've been approached by 2 separate people in 2 completely independent circles about things, and I think the board should be updated on whatever's going on so that we know what to avoid out there. in terms of personnel issues that are going on that at least I don't know anything about. And the somber appearance by some of these board members, I wonder if some people are getting better access to information than others, which I believe is not appropriate. There's a limit to the amount of space available in the drop boxes that's provided by the district. I asked for it to be expanded so that I could keep the records, you know, available to me that I've provided with, because I do go back and second look at things frequently. I was told by a staff member that I should destroy old records, and I was surprised by that as an answer to my request for additional storage space on the server. I don't know. It seems like that's destruction of public records. Is not a sheet of ice I want to skate on. Something this district might be comfortable with, but as a director, I don't want to have to answer to a judge on that question. So if you could, please update the Dropbox account and allow more storage to my account. I had a meeting last week with I was going to bring this up Thursday, but we got sidetracked with some things. With a director from another district. And I was informed that we had the information that I was able to get, the Wood report for the Mission Creek Subbasin was the 2018-19 report, which was made available to us, I think, in February. I found out about this in a casual conversation that I would have liked to have known about. So maybe we could find a way to receive and file those documents as a board officially so that we know that they're completed. I think this, what I was able to find on it in my Dropbox was that this cost somewhere close to $500,000. And
yeah, that was,
yeah.
Okay, great.
So
Sorry.
I just think that when these things, you know, once they're approved and completed, I'd like to see the reports brought to the board. I know it happened once, but this one I don't think I saw before. If I did, I apologize for missing it. And there was another issue that, you know, came up. I had asked about this once before and it was shrugged off. So I don't want to shrug it, allow you all to shrug it off again. I'd like to see invoices for attorney submissions of invoices. I want to see copies of the invoices. I want to know what's getting, what we're paying for, how it's being sliced and diced. I know this month the bill has been interestingly lower than normal, but typically it's running about $100,000 a month. I think the community deserves the right to have access to that information, since the attorney works for the board, just like the credit card statements. They're public record. You can provide them to me, or, you know, I don't know if you're holding back on them because you think I'm going to use it as a political issue, but don't worry. I know the outcome of the election long before the votes were cast. So I'll be happy to wait until after the election so that you're comfortable that I'm not going to use it against the incumbent directors that are being reviewed by the public right now. But I assure you that those records will be delivered either in a friendly manner to me or from the business end of a subpoena from Mike Hestron's office. So with that, I thank you. And
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your comments. Did I miss anybody on comments? Oh, Director Sewell, I'm sorry.
Yes, I was. I just wanted to share. I was reached out from a customer, and she was not so happy with a high bill. And then with help from April Scott and the customer service team, They actually sent a technician out, and there was deemed to be an irrigation issue, and some work with April, and her current bill came out, and it's back to her normal range. So I just wanted to say that she's happy and was very satisfied with the help from April. And after looking at the reports on the amount of calls coming into the customer service team, I just wanted to say a big thank you. I know their plate has been pretty full, and just thankful for all their work they're doing.
Thank you. Did I get everybody on the comments now? I think I did. Okay, so for my comments are the same. I'll ditto what Director Sewell said. April, good job. All the other employees that helped with people with this high bills because of the meter situation. Thank you very much. Seems to be working out quite well. From what I understand, there's a lot of people that had some issues, but most of them have been taken care of, if not all. And so I think we have some people that, at least if they understand why, if they're not ecstatic, but most of them turned out pretty happy from what I hear. So thank you, you guys. Okay, Arden, do you have anything else before I?
No, but I think that you did touch on a very important issue here, and that is that, you know, we really do resolve many of these issues if the people in the community would just call and check in with us. We have been able to make most everybody happy. I'm not even aware of anybody that we haven't, but I'm sure they're out there. You know, I mean, it just seems like every time I hear these stories, we do resolve the issue, and everybody's upset thinking that, you know, somehow it's the district's fault. And at the end of the day, we all have, you know, issues with our irrigation systems and with plumbing, and it just happens. But with these new meters, we're going to be able to get out there even ahead of that, because we will see that trend and be able to notify the customer earlier. And so we're just striving to make our service better and better every day, and I think it's working. But I do want to emphasize the fact that when we do go out and talk to these people, we go above and beyond what most people do, and in fact anybody that I know, and we do a good job of resolving their problems. So if you do have someone that is upset with their bill, tell them to call the office, and we'll be glad to work with them. We'll go out of our way to find out what the issue is. Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. I was going to say something too, but anyway, okay. We have no closed session, right, John? We did it all on Thursday. JP, Mr. Pinckney.
Closed session on Thursday of last week, and we do not have one today.
Okay, I remember what I was going to say. I was trying to, if there's any, I don't know of any personnel thing going on, but if any director has anything that they know about any personnel, being Mission Springs Water District personnel, the person you need to go to talk to about that is Arden, because they are his employees. So I suggest if you know anything that you want to share with him, that's the one to share it with. So I don't know I don't have any current anything about employees right now, so I don't know what's being talked about.
I'm glad to share with you what I can. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, well, if nothing else, I'm going to adjourn this meeting. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.